Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Election strategist Prashant Kishor, who is helping Mamata Banerjee in her election campaign in West Bengal, has given a big statement today. He has said that the BJP will struggle to cross even double digits in the assembly election, and if it does, he will quit Twitter. Now, that's not a big sacrifice to talk about, but that has definitely given me an opportunity to talk about larger things at stake in the assembly election in this episode of Politically Correct. West Bengal as it is witnessing a battle royale between the Trinamool Congress and the BJP, or let's say between Mamata Banerjee and Narendra Modi, because the BJP does not have a chief ministerial face there, and the BJP is contesting in the name of Narendra Modi and his works. But there is a subtext to this battle, which is this unstated rivalry between Amit Shah and Prashant Kishor. Now, both of them worked together for Narendra Modi's campaign in 2014 Lok Sabha elections. After the election, as we are given to understand that Prashant Kishor wanted some role in the government, which actually he didn't get, and then he fell apart. And then he actually, from then on, he joined started joining the opposition camp one after another. So, in 2015, he joined Nitish Kumar and Lalu Yadav. Actually, he brought them together and forced that Mahagathbandhan of the RJD, JDU and the Congress in Bihar and defeated the BJP. I mean, he must have been very happy because that was kind of a message from him to Prime Minister Narendra Modi that he was worth something. Anyway, so coming to this rivalry, look at their track records. Amit Shah, post 2014, he became he took over as party president, and in the next 3 years, the BJP went on to win or to have government in 21 states. Even today, BJP has 12 chief ministers and a couple of deputy chief ministers. So, Amit Shah's track record is very clear, and he is considered the Chanakya of Indian politics. But then, Prashant Kishor is also supposed to have that Midas touch. He joins any political campaign, and he has been on the winning side, except on one occasion, that was in Uttar Pradesh, when he had joined the Congress. So, from 2014 onwards, you look at it. In 2015, he was instrumental in the forging of that Mahagathbandhan, in the grand alliance of Lalu Yadav, Nitish Kumar and the Congress. He was on the winning side. In 2017, actually, then he moved over to the Congress, and he became very close to the Gandhi family also. And he was actually supporting the Congress in its campaign in both UP and Punjab. Mostly focused on UP because in Punjab, Captain Amrinder Singh did not really give him much leeway, I would say. But in UP, he was calling the shots, and he actually wanted even Priyanka Gandhi to become the chief ministerial candidate. It did not work out anyway. Whatever happened, it was a fiasco. But then he moved on. We saw how he was instrumental in Jagan Mohan's victory in Andhra Pradesh, because from then on he went to Andhra Pradesh to support Jagan Mohan Reddy. Then he went to West Bengal in 2019. In June 2019, actually, he had a meeting with Mamata Banerjee in Kolkata. And after that, if I remember it right, Kailash Vijayvargiya, the BJP General Secretary in charge of West Bengal, he gave a statement that, Amit Shah is the principal of the college in which Prashant Kishor is a student. Be that as it may, but what we witnessed the day before, I'm sure Vijayvargiya must have been feeling vindicated for now at least, because we saw one MP and over half a dozen MLAs, 7 MLAs to be precise, including one former minister, Subhendu Adhikari, joining the BJP in the presence of Amit Shah. That's how things are as it is. The BJP is definitely witnessing a big upswing in West Bengal, and it has reasons to hope that it will be able to defeat Mamata Banerjee or Prashant Kishor combined, I would say. Not in the sense of an alliance, but well, Prashant Kishor is considered a force by himself, and he has joined Mamata Banerjee in actually giving a boost to her campaign. What the BJP would be banking on? In 2014 Lok Sabha election, BJP got just two seats in West Bengal with 17% vote share. In 2019, the BJP won 18 Lok Sabha seats as against Trinamool Congress's 22. And the BJP's vote share was 40.64%, just 3 percentage points less than that of the Trinamool Congress. And of course, the momentum is with the BJP, and naturally BJP is pretty upbeat. But then what Prashant Kishor would be looking at? Prashant Kishor would be looking at the assembly figures, because the Lok Sabha elections were there to elect Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister, and where the BJP does not have a chief ministerial face in assembly elections, of course Mamata Banerjee should have an edge. So in 2011 assembly election, BJP got 0 seat, 0 out of 294, while getting just about 4% vote share. Even in 2016, the BJP's tally went up to just 3 seats, and I think BJP had contested about 290 or 291 seats in 2016 election, but it got just 3 seats with a vote share of just 10%, about 7 percentage points less than what it had got in the Lok Sabha election. So of course, the way Prashant Kishor would be looking at, well, when it comes to Narendra Modi's election, of course BJP has an edge, but 2021 is going to be an election for the chief minister, and Mamata Banerjee should have an edge. That's where the things stand today. So let's look at how, the problems on both sides. We have discussed the lack of faith in the BJP. But from Prashant Kishor's point of view, because we started a discussion with his tweet, for him the bigger problem that is happening now is, within the Trinamool Congress, there is a lot of resentment growing against him. And many MLAs and MP who have quit the Trinamool Congress now have hit out at him. Now, Prashant Kishor is very close to Mamata Banerjee and her nephew, or heir apparent, I would say, Abhishek Banerjee. And through them, he has virtually been running the party. He has a role even in the appointment of office bearers of the Trinamool Congress. He has been actually guiding the Trinamool Congress in the selection of candidates as well. You know how these poll strategists work. They do all kinds of surveys. They tell you these are vulnerable areas, these are strong points, this candidate is not working, this candidate is working. While on the campaign trail, they tell you, okay, these are the influencers in a particular constituency, so you go and tap them. All kinds of help that a political strategist or a poll strategist generally does. And he's doing very well, and I'm sure the Banerjee family seems pretty convinced right now that they desperately need Prashant Kishor's feedback, and that is why they are ready to let go of some people who are disgruntled. But this is not the first time that you see Prashant Kishor actually becoming a kind of a divisive force in a party which he is trying to help, because look at the past track record. In 2014, he was with Narendra Modi's campaign, and actually he made a name for himself in that campaign. His CAG, that publicity company, his CAG was credited with coming out with innovative strategies like Chai Pe Charcha, Run for Unity, all those hologram speeches. He got a lot of credit, and from then on actually all politicians started looking at him. But then he fell apart. He quit the BJP's campaign, after post-elections of course, and joined the opposition camp. So what we saw in 2015, he became very close to Chief Minister Nitish Kumar after ensuring the victory of the Mahagathbandhan. And he grew so close to Nitish Kumar that actually in Patna, he had a room in the Chief Minister's official residence. He became very powerful. And in fact, by the end of 2018, Nitish Kumar made him the Vice President of the Janata Dal United, the number 2 post. He was actually being seen as Nitish Kumar's successor at one point of time. But then within a year, things started going badly. And we saw ahead of 2019 election, he actually tweeted something against RCP Singh, another leader who is very close to Nitish Kumar. It was not a very veiled tweet as such. He said, well, electioneering in Bihar is being conducted by RCP Singh, who is supposed to be the man in charge, and I'm not there. Basically saying that it was RCP Singh. The rivalry was coming out in the open, and by January this year, we saw how they fell out and JDU expelled him. Now, the ostensible reason for that break was the difference of opinion between Nitish Kumar and Prashant Kishor over the Citizenship Amendment Act. In those days, JDU had supported the CEA, and Prashant Kishor was totally opposed to it. But that was the ostensible reason which was given to us, or which was seen as a trigger for that split. But behind the scene, the fact was that he was not getting along with senior leaders of the JDU, and finally Nitish Kumar had to take a call basically which way he had to go, and he decided to sacrifice Prashant Kishor. Same thing happened in Congress also. Now when Prashant Kishor grew again very close to Nehru Gandhi family, he was very close to Rahul, Priyanka, everybody. After the loss, and again Congress leaders were very upset because they thought that he was running roughshod over them, and he was dictating the party agenda, election strategy, and they were the main experienced people. They knew how politics was played, and some newbie in politics who is a poll strategist, he is coming and telling us how to go about elections, which happens in every party. All these veteran leaders, they don't really tolerate the entry of somebody new, and who, especially when he grows very close to the high command in those parties. Well, Congress also, or the Gandhi family also decided to part ways. Prashant Kishor was left. Prashant Kishor then joins YSRCP, or he joins Jagan Mohan Reddy's campaign there. From then on, we know now he has, in Delhi also he came for a while, but then there was a wave in favor of the Aam Aadmi party in Delhi elections, so he could not get the credit. Now he is helping Mamata Banerjee, and also the DMK in Tamil Nadu. Let's see how things pan out, but we are talking about his problem. But you know, the main charge against Prashant Kishor is, as we have talked about how he becomes a divisive force after joining a party, because he allies with the high command of that party, and then other leaders, second, third rung leaders actually feel ignored, and then they start kind of speaking against him, and some even leave, what we have witnessed in West Bengal now. Their charge is, now probably this charge is being leveled by people who have quit the Trinamool Congress, but similar charges have come from other party leaders also, the parties in which, or in whose campaign Prashant Kishor was involved earlier. That you know, he is too much hype and not that much of substance. In the sense, he goes with the winning side, or he goes with potential winners. So look at what happened. In 2014, do you think if Prashant Kishor was not there with Narendra Modi's campaign, I mean, would it have any bearing on the final results? Probably no. He might have been a force multiplier in a way that, you know, he organized the campaign in a way that probably he was instrumental in generating some more momentum for Narendra Modi, but not that he was a decisive force. In 2015, and if you look at Bihar politics, if you have Lalu Yadav, Nitish Kumar and the Congress together, do you need anybody to actually run your campaign? Look at the caste arithmetic there. You are a winner anyway. But Prashant Kishor got the credit. Come to Jagan Mohan Reddy. He was seen as a winner long before the campaign started, because he was working on the ground. His late father was very popular. Jagan Mohan Reddy was also gaining in popularity. So not that Prashant Kishor was a decisive force, but he has of course been a force multiplier in the way he shapes the campaign, in the way he helps party chiefs formulate their election strategy, in the way he brings out the vulnerabilities that the party might have. So of course he is a big help to any party chief going into elections, but he is not the person who is actually decisive when we come to talk about election victories. West Bengal is important for him, because you know, again, Mamata Banerjee was seen as a winner, has been seen as a winner even in the next election, or I won't say has been seen, but she is considered as a winner because there is no face in the BJP. And that's how, if you talk to Prashant Kishor detractors in the Trinamool Congress, they would tell you that, well, he knew that Mamata Banerjee would be winning, and so he joined the bandwagon as a poll strategist in West Bengal. But now things are getting tough because the BJP has gained a huge momentum, and it may not have the face. As we saw, it did not have a face when it displaced Tarun Gogoi in Assam. He was a 3-term chief minister. BJP did not have a face when it displaced, say, Bhupender Singh Hooda in Haryana. He was a 2-term chief minister. They were all strong leaders. Or in Maharashtra, BJP did not really have a face, because Nitin Gadkari is a big leader from Maharashtra, but he was not a face of the election. The election was fought in the name of Modi. So just to bank on the fact that the BJP does not have a chief ministerial face, does not necessarily, give you that edge as Prashant Kishor would think, or many Trinamool leaders might think. Game is wide open, but then yes, when the results come, I think we will be watching Vijay Vargiya's comment once again, who is the principal in that electoral college, whether it's Amit Shah or Prashant Kishor. Prashant Kishor has a big reputation to protect, and West Bengal is very crucial to that reputation. Thank you.